Hey guys, Caleb here with another DSLR video shooter tutorial. Today I want to talk about a rig I've been using for B-roll. I get a lot of B-roll, even if it's a interview kind of a shoot, we usually always go around and catch some B-roll. Recently I've been helping my sister start a new cooking website. She's going to be doing cooking tutorials and recipes and things like that. So most of everything we were going to be filming wasn't going to require audio. It was almost going to be all B-roll and shots of her obviously showing how to make certain things as well as the final result. So I wanted something very compact, something very quick, easy to use, not a lot of setup time, and something very flexible. And recently I had to send my Tamron 24-70 in for repair, so I didn't have that, which would have been my normal go-to lens for B-roll because of the zoom. So I kind of fell in love again with my 50mm f1.4 and came up with a nice little rig, and so I want to go ahead and build that for you and show you how I used it. So at the base of all this was using my Manfrotto BHDV monopod. Love this thing, and I've used it so much. I can't tell you how valuable this is to me. This is next to the tripod, but even then it's kind of a tie. I love this thing, really love this thing. So this was at the base. The next thing on top of that, let me grab it real quick, was a kind of very small rig. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this on here, lock it down. And so what we have here is a base plate from Wooden Camera. I'm going to show you two rigs essentially. One is using the Wooden Camera gear, and then another is using some gear from Photography and Cinema, which is a lot more affordable. So the Wooden Camera stuff is pretty much the best thing ever. You can't get better than this. It's like going from a T2i to a Red Epic. It's just unbelievable. Love their stuff. So this is using some of their gear. It's kind of a mix of different things. But first I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you the cheaper version from Photography and Cinema. So what we have here is their base plate, which attaches to a plate that attaches to your tripod. And right in the middle, I'm looking at my monitor to see if you can see this, there is two 50mm rod attachments. So I've put one rod on here because the follow focus I'm using only has one 15mm attachment. So I don't need both rods. And again, this whole thing, I'm trying to keep this really slim, really knocked down, especially since my monopod isn't a big one. You know, this at the end of the day does have a weight limit, and I'll get smoother shots with less weight. So yeah, one very small 6-inch rod, and then obviously you see the follow focus attached to that. So I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit, and I'm going to grab my camera. And I have the camera attached to a Wooden Camera cage. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that on, lock it down. And then I just loosen up the rod, get it in place, lock it down on the lens. On this lens, I hadn't been using a follow focus in a while, so I couldn't find some of my focus gears, but I did find one of my little zip tie gears. So you can see I've kind of got it zip tied on here. This is the 50mm f1.4, and that's about it. You're looking at just about the full completed thing. You can see I have this fantastic top handle for quickly removing the whole setup. The follow focus is fantastic. This follow focus is from Camera. It's $99, which is a complete steal when you consider how well made this is. You can reverse the gears, it's completely metal, has a marking disc, really nice, pretty large knob, which I really like, has the attachment point for a whip if you wanted to add that. One 15mm attachment. This is really huge because it allows you to really attach it to just about any 50mm rod setup. I used to use the D focus, which still is a decent follow focus, but it's mostly plastic, not nearly as well made, and it requires both rods, which if you're like me and you've attached other things like a matte box, can be a real pain to get on and off. Whereas this sucker, if I want to get it out of the way, I just loosen one knob, the whole thing slides over, want to attach it again, boom, we're back in business. So really like this, can't praise it enough. I'll put links to all this equipment you see here at DSLRvideoshooter.com. So you can definitely check that out. So that's about it. And what this allows me to do is have a very small camera package. I could get in really tight places. And the one thing I really like about the Manfrotto monopod is that you can do these nice, moves in and out, kind of get almost, I'm looking at my monitor just to make sure we're in the shot, get these jib or slider-like moves. You can't go wrong. So I love having this small setup. It wasn't this massive rig. I didn't put a mat box and batteries and all kinds of garbage on there. So it just allowed me to keep things really tight. And then if I needed to take it off the tripod, it's as simple as that. And I can set this aside. And now I have a very, very compact little package, little camera package that I could get lower shots with, and really liked it, really enjoyed it. So this is the first time I've actually set it up like this, but we shot for an entire day and this whole setup was invaluable. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart and rebuild it using this little guy from Photography and Cinema. This is almost identical to the rod setup from Wooden Camera. Obviously it's not Wooden Camera, so the quality isn't quite as nice. It doesn't have the quick release on here, so you'd have to add that yourself. But it does have some cool features and it's a lot more affordable. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take off this rod with the Wooden Camera rig, slide it out. I'm gonna set the camera down. So really all you have to do to set this up is just like the other rig. You're going to attach your single 6-inch rod to the one side of the attachment, and that's it. So you can still get the same kind of a rig with more affordable components. The only disadvantage is you're not going to have that amazing top handle cage that you get with the Wooden Camera, but this will definitely work, especially if you're not going to be getting a lot of low shots. So that's all you need: camera plate from Photography and Cinema, a 6-inch rod, and a follow focus, preferably this one, which is only $100, and I've just been completely blown away with it. From there, all you're going to need is your camera attached to that, some kind of a lens gear, and then a quick release plate would be preferred. That way you can get this on and off your monopod or your tripod quickly. If you like this kind of stuff or want to see more tutorials and reviews, go to DSLRvideoshare.com. You'll find links to everything I've talked about. You can also check out the gear guide where I have all the cameras and all the equipment that I usually work with posted on there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.